Welcome back, everybody. I'm the old man. That's Peter Capaldi. We're playing Final Fantasy Solo Fighter. First thing I want to go do is maybe get another tent or two, or see what kind of armor I might be able to get. This video is probably going to be... There's going to be two big grinding spots in this particular run. And one of those is going to be here. I'm going to absolutely need chain. I don't need that iron. You know what? Let's get them. These are just going to up my defense a little bit. Which, you know, always helps. Two big grinding spots. And the first big grinding spot, unfortunately, is going to be in this video. Because we are going to need, in Elfland, there is a sword we need. It's the silver sword. It is way too powerful to be in that particular shop. Not sure why it is in that shop, but it is in that shop. And it's 4,000 gold, and we're going to need it in order to go to the Marsh Cave, because I forgot where the item shop was. I think I walked all the way over here, and the item shop is actually on the other side of town. That silver sword is going to help us do damage for the sort of mini bosses in the Marsh Cave. And it will pretty much help us until we polish off Astos and get the other swords in the Temple of Fiends. Yeah, it was on the other side of town. Get a couple tents. And let's buy some heals as well. I remember what I was saying in the last video when I did something and then lost my train of thought. The stories to Final Fantasy are, for the most part, kinda stupid. I know people, if you know, people watch this video and they're like, "Well, no, it's not stupid." It's kinda stupid, guys. It's kinda stupid. Because the thing is, this story. Take the first one. The first one is, yep, there's my Kaizoku. The first one is the time loop, and the four fiends is fine, and lighting the crystals is fine, and then there's a silly time loop with Garland, and that's just dumb. And then the first and second ones, I think, are just, evil force behind the bad guy. Nothing fantastic. And then 4 is there's a bad guy, and then there's like moon people, and the 5th one is an evil tree, and it's just, I hate to tell you guys this, but they're just kind of silly. Especially when you get into the PlayStation era, and you've got, ooh, nope, we need to go back over there. Ooh, no, thank you. Especially when we get into the PlayStation era, and we have, we've got the Holy Meteor and the, oh my gosh, just... and then time compression and genomes. The story, we love them. I mean, I loved them. Love them back in the day. But let's be honest here, the stories are no great shakes. What I'm going to do here is do a hard reset. And what that does is reset the encounter list. And the encounter list is hard-coded in the game. This is stuff that you would learn from Brick Road that I'm telling you as well. And the reason why you do this is because every time you go on the sea, if you've hard reset the game, you will fight anywhere between 1 and 5 Kaizokus, whatever a Kaizoku is. And the Kaizokus are good because they yield a lot of gold. You can get a lot more gold doing this, golden experience doing this, than you can on grinding on the, what are they called? The ogres and creeps. So that's what we're going to be doing for a lot of this video, unfortunately. It's going to be, I guess it's just the 5th level he needs to get the second hit, because he hasn't gotten his second hit. And so we'll be leveling up and getting gold, because we need at least 4,000. I would like to have enough money to get more. I would like to have 99 heal potions when you go into the Marsh Cave, which is another Nintendo Power hit, and that one's actually legitimate. You really, You really should have that. So, unfortunately, I hate to say that the second video in this series is going to be, let's see, 180. So that's 150 gold, and we need 4,000. So this is going to be... Oh, goodness. But you know what? I said that it was going to be... It was going to be what it was, so that's what it's going to be. We're just going to do what we're doing. So yeah, this is every time. I'll get the Kaizokus, but the thing is, this is a lot quicker than fighting anywhere else. It's a lot quicker than fighting anywhere else. So that's why we do it, because it's just... There's not really any reason to go down and do that, because it takes too long. And hopefully I won't die on these. But yeah. So unfortunately, and I say this, the thing about the stories with those, as a huge fan of Final Fantasy. I love Final Fantasy for the most part. And but I hate to tell you that the stories are, when you look at them as an adult, they're kind of stupid. They really are. So what I was saying about grinding too, this is gonna be a grinding spot here for sure. We need to grind to get that sword, and we also need to grind to, in the end, we want to get up to level 50 before we face Chaos. So we'll be doing that as well. We might have to grind a little bit here and there. And would you stop missing them, you fool? I'll probably die in every video. Wouldn't that be interesting? I'll die in every video. We need to be level 50 before we fight Chaos, so we're gonna have to grind. However, whatever we are before then, we're gonna have to grind. And oh my word, I'm gonna die here. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe we can make the goal to die in every single video. Every video is gonna have a death. 240. And I would maybe speed this up a bit, but I don't know. That's not really my thing. See, we're already at 800. I don't know how many videos is just gonna be me grinding on the ocean. That will suck, won't it? Oh, power. Sorry, everybody. Kind of kills the momentum of this Let's Play, doesn't it? Hey, but you know what? You've already, if you watch this, did you watch the half-hour grinding video of Zelda 2? Because that was like what, 45 minutes of straight grinding between two videos. Yeah. So I guess we're gonna do this. There is a place if I get a couple of levels under my belt, maybe at level 5, there's a place where I can get some more gold in the Dwarf Cave. I may go do that. But I'm going to need some pure potions before I do that. Because I'll get poisoned. That's kind of the rule. You get poisoned on the way there. So, right now it's the Kaizokus. We're just gonna be grinding on these guys for the foreseeable future, unfortunately. Which kind of reminds me of Dragon Warrior. I hated that game. I think I've said I hated that game, because that's pretty much grinding the game, and I hate that game. Oh my word, stop missing. Once he gets his second hit too, he won't miss nearly as much, which will be helpful. Come on. There we go. He won't miss nearly as much, which... Yes, good. Okay, getting through these Kaizokus is going to be a little bit easier now. Let's go save, reset it again. And if you don't like this, you've probably already stopped watching it. But you can also thank Brick Road again, because he's the one that taught me how to do this. See, we're at 1200 already. We'll be... Once we get that sword, we'll be, it'll be fine times there. And let's see, let's check his status. Yep, 32. 32%. So sometimes you have to be aware of, excuse me, you have to be a little bit aware of the weapon that you equip, because this doesn't come with the like the modern ones where it tells you how this compares to. Ooh, yes, we're one-shotting them. That's good. How this compares to the old weapon. You just kind of have to look and equip it and guess, and so you have to be careful that any new weapons you equip won't take your total below 32%, which it won't, because we're only going to get the silver sword, and then after that, we'll never have to buy another sword again, because there's going to be swords. We'll be full up of swords, trust me. After this, after we get through the Marsh Cave and kill Astos. So the silver sword is the only sword we're going to buy after the scimitar. And unfortunately, see, in a normal 4-player game, you would probably be able to get away with not grinding so much. Yeah, I didn't take near as much damage that time. Without grinding as much, but unfortunately, with a solo game, you do have to do that. In fact, you don't really have to grind at all on a 4-player run. Hardly at all. Might want to before you try to beat Chaos, but get my cursor off the screen there. And trust me, this really is the fastest way to do this. Going and doing it on the imps and the creeps, not the way to do it. I wish you would have one-shotted that Kaizoku. And the updated translations, they're called Buccaneers. And I think I like Kaizoku's better. I don't know why. It just seems different. Well, they do look like, I guess they look kind of like they got beards and I don't know. Because all the new versions of Final Fantasy all have a new translation, and I'm an old school, so I kind of like the old school translations that are sort of not the best, but were certainly the most amusing. And Ted Woolsey, who did a lot of the Final Fantasy translations in the early 90s, that was some good stuff. I don't know how accurate it was, and I don't really care. But that was certainly amusing, and I think that counts for a lot. And whenever you're translating things, and I'd say this as somebody who's translated the Bible from Greek, it's always better when you're translating to get as close to the spirit of the meaning versus the robotic, literal transliteration of that. See, that's 300 gold. That's good. Transliteration of the original text, because in a lot of languages, and I'm certain this is true in Japanese as well. Hey, we're 2,000. We're not doing too badly here. The original language doesn't sound like English, and so when you transliterate that stuff into English and you do it very slavishly and literal, it won't make any sense a lot of times. And I did learn that with Greek, is you can make it sound ridiculous to where it's almost unreadable. So I don't understand. So I can kind of understand when you're translating a game from Japanese, you really want to make sure that, I would assume you want to make sure that you're engaging. Oh, geez, critical hit. You're engaging the audience on their level instead of just slavishly trying to translate the exact words and whatever of the Japanese. Because there's a big difference. Especially if you look at translations of the Bible, just, let's talk about that again, I guess. Between, like, the NASB translation, which is probably the most literal in terms of the Greek, versus, like, the King James, which is, and then the Message after that. Wait, alright, level 6. Hey, you know what, though? We won't have a lot of, we won't need so many levels. So, yeah, I said all that to say, when you're translating, translate it so that people can understand it. Even if it's not maybe the most technically accurate in terms of grammar and syntax, because that's not really what matters. It's the meaning that matters, I think, anyway. Theories of translation, that's what you get with the old man. We don't talk about the game, we talk about old people stuff. I bet I could talk about some insurance too. Life insurance. It's a good idea if you need it. And you should need it if you're my age. If you're 65 or older, that's the commercials you hear if you watch a lot of Price is Right. Which is when I say, I don't always watch The Price is Right, but when I do, I want a hover chair. And want to get Liberty Life Insurance. $240. I think I might only have to do this one more time, and then I'll go over to the Dwarf Cave and grab that gold over there, and then we'll have enough for my silver sword. Yeah, I'll do that one more time. Hopefully it'll be a good one. And you do have to do a hard reset on this to reset the encounter list. And the thing is, with the encounter list, the longer you go... Ooh, this is a nice good one. The longer you play the game, the deeper you get into the encounter list, and typically the harder the encounters will become. So that you'll see a lot of things in there that you wouldn't normally see if you've been playing a long time. That's why it's kind of good every now and then to do a hard reset, which we'll be doing. If I feel like the going's too tough, I'll probably be doing hard resets. And again, stat gains, we're almost at 200 hit points with a fighter at level 6. The black mage doesn't see 200 hit points until a long time. I tried doing a black mage solo run on my cell phone, and I got to about the Earth Cave, and then I was like, okay, I'm done with the Earth Cave. Because the Earth Cave was hard, and that's probably the Earth Cave and the Ice Cave, probably the two hardest things in this game. In my opinion, probably going to be the two hardest things in this game. Let's go get some pure potions. And then this will be the end of this video. And so hopefully it'll just be the... We're going to need a lot more potions. So we might actually need to do a little bit more grinding, I hate to say. That should be enough for now. I'll go save, and then the next video we will go to the Dwarf Cave and then get our silver sword, and hopefully we'll be done with grinding for a little bit. I hope. Make sure it saves. Alright everybody, I'll see you next time.